Vampire Dormitory Volume 1 Review. Many of your readings is may recognize the name Emma Tsuyama. She's the mangaka behind series like Missions of Love, Abba Clone's Confessions, and I guess it became the mother of the great demon king Stenchiro in another world. Now none of her works has made it to print thanks to Kodansha, but does it prove an interesting read? Let's find out. Vampire Dormitory follows the story of Mito Yamamoto, who has no family to rely on and lives on the street. To keep herself safe, Mito disguises herself as a boy, but unfortunately her good looks sees her being fired for the part-time job where the girls who visit her workplace simply hit on her are becoming a nuisance to the boss. In need of another job, Mito visits a local cafe and there she meets the vampire Ruka. Mito knocks over a vase and cuts her finger, leading Ruka to take his first taste of human blood in a decade. Audrey declares it disgusting. He's still quite smitten with her heroine and decides to take her into his care of his subservient troll. Naturally, Ruka has no idea that Mito is a girl, active dislikes women, except the truly kind fun in his otaku hobbies. So Mito must keep her identity a secret from him, especially since she's living in the boys' dorm now. You may be wondering why Ruka would want to stay close to Mito, despite her blood tasting disgusting. But that's because in his world, it's said that the blood of a person can become sweeter the more loved the person is. The theory is that Mito's blood tastes awful because she's gone her whole life being unloved, especially since her parents passed away when she was young. So Ruka hopes that showing her in love will make her blood nicer. Another important plot point is that women can become vampires when their blood is completely drained. Men cannot. So Ruka doesn't realize that there's any risk of feeding a Mito. Ruka only always to feed of a human, woman who will become his life partner. Since when you feed on a person, you are unable to feed on anyone else since you can understand anyone else's blood. Naturally, Mito seems to be their life partner, but Ruka is yet to realize this, given he still believes she's male. Well, this is a slim first volume, only 158 pages. This was managed to pack a lot in, especially appreciate the detail of the world building surrounding the vampires is, as well as discovering that they are not a common entity in the world. Mito's storyline frankly reminds me of our high school host club, which is no bad thing, given how much I love that series, but I confess I do have some problems with the gender aspects of this one in comparison to Oran. A Paragon is hinting their real gender is nothing new in the world of manga, but the way author Toyama handles it is clumsy. We're supposed to believe that Mito spends the majority of her life wearing a short hair wig to hide her waist-lying hair, and I find it hard to believe that it doesn't slip off in her sleep. On top of that, there is a scene where Mito, Ruka, and some friends go camping with Mito's clothes get wet and turn transparent, which makes her real gender much more obvious. Despite the fact Mito is not just quiet, flat-chested, I still find it difficult to believe that Ruka has been close enough to drink blood from her neck and not known that she's a woman. Outside of those complaints, Toyama's work on the series is fine. Her artwork's detailed and makes use of large panels to emphasize the emotions of the cast. She's also used these to highlight big romantic moments where it clears Mito and Ruka are falling in love. If you read only any of her other manga, you can find her work in familiar and less much rough around. The edges are much more polished. In general, her storytelling has matured and most of the worst shoujo tropes she used to rely on are no longer present, such as pushy male characters. There's also plenty set up in the story for it to quickly descend into chaos, either because of Mito's secret coming to light or for new additions to the cast, which is a hallmark of Toyama's where nothing to say peaceful for long. Vampire Dormitory Volume 1 comes to the West thanks to Kodansha. It's translated by Devon Corwin. The translation reads well with no issues to note. The series is ongoing in Japan in 8 volumes, and Kodansha has already released 7 digitally. Volume 2 is already available in print, and Volume 3 is following February. Overall, Vampire Dormitory Volume 1 proves another entertaining read for Emma Toyama. While certain aspects of the plot may leave readers rolling their eyes at how unbelievable it is, this one is still well worth checking out if you fancy a rom-com involving vampires. 8 over 10.